Ja. Weißt du, was mir aufgefallen ist, das ist derselbe Arm, mit dem wir schießen, oder?
Ja.
Kam mir nur so gerade in den Sinn, von wegen Anderswelt nachher oder so.
Oh, S ist aber sehr weit unten. Wir wollten noch A erreichen.
Oh nein. Kapitel endet. Das war stimmt, Kapitel, ja, das war beim ersten Teil auch. Die Kapitel waren ziemlich kurz im Vergleich.
Ja, aber die Kapitel waren noch irgendwie sehr, sehr fließend damals.
Ja. Oha.
York, you can hear me, right? I'll be with you soon. I'm not sad. Honestly.
Ich finde, das Licht da oben sieht auch aus, als würdest du ein sehr schlechtes Bild von einem Ei anzoomen.
I mean, we'll be together again. We'll get to discuss movies, food again. Everyone around here has bad taste. They don't understand things the way we do. It's a shitty world filled with shitty people. Oh, that reminds me. There are movie theaters and restaurants over there, right? As soon as I get there, let's go grab some peanut butter hamburgers and yogurt smoothies. I'm so excited, York.
Okay, also stirbt er offensichtlich gerade.
Please, York, don't rush me. You just need to wait a bit longer. I still have one job left to do. I need to finish it. I have to. Or else I'd never be able to face you. Just give me a little more time, okay?
So, Lisa's mother, Galena Clarkson, confessed to murdering Lise. But then immediately afterwards, she went insane. So you had no choice but to detain her. What a terribly convenient story. You were the first person to find the suspect hiding at a farm on the edge of town. And you even got her to confess to the crime. Did anyone else get a chance to hear Galena's confession?
Only us.
How did you even find that shack in the first place?
Metaphysical offender profiling.
Meta what? Should I know this word?
Metaphysical offender profiling. The term appears 6 times in the Le Carré report and 14 times in the 2010 Greenvale report. As long as you're solving cases, the people in charge don't really care what sort of words you use.
Was? Moment. 2010 Greenvale? Ich dachte 2006. Hä? Jetzt bin ich durcheinander. Ich dachte 2005 spielt der Fall und 2006 spielt der nächste Fall. Also quasi der erste Teil. Dachte, das hätten sie das letzte Mal gesagt.
Ich weiß leider nicht mehr.
You utilized a highly abnormal method to instantly hone in on a suspect. Then you did it again. And every time you used it, one term kept appearing in your files. Mr. Morgan, would you mind explaining to us what this term means?
We could try. But no matter what words we used, you'd never be able to understand. You see, it doesn't pertain to this side. Come, my fairy. Stop hiding back there and give them the explanation they so desire. What? You're too shy?
Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan!
Come on out. Don't be afraid. You can do it. It's okay. Come on.
Is that all you have to say? Don't underestimate me, Morgan. I know you and the Clarksons share a deeper connection. Much deeper than how it appears on the surface. I need to shake him with something else that's directly connected to the Clarksons. I'm gonna jog his memory by force.
Clarksons gab's ja in Green Valley nicht.
Nicht, dass ich wüsste.
Mr. Morgan, according to you, at the beginning of this case, the victim's body was being stored in the warehouse on purpose. Is that the truth? They really put her body there alongside food and other perishables?
It's in the report.
No. The report only says it was stored using the most effective and shockingly inhuman method possible.
If you can think of a better phrase, we're all ears.
The report isn't wrong, you know. In fact, that might actually be the most accurate way of describing it. It's precise, and it's also kinda poetic, you know?
Wow, Simon. We never would have taken you for a poet.
Right?
You two think this is a joke? Lise Clarkson's body was discovered in that cold storage warehouse after 14 long years. If you'd only done a proper investigation, we probably would have found her much sooner. That poor girl.
We still regret the fact that we never got to meet her.
Kam mir gerade so.
Mhm.
Findest du, sie hat Ähnlichkeit mit Clever Little Girl?
Ah.
Weil die Frisur kommt mir gerade so ähnlich vor. Und es wäre so ein typischer Twist, den du einbauen könntest. Ich bin übrigens, und deswegen ist es ein bisschen zickig, weil die andere ist auch so zickig.
We're sorry. From the bottoms of our hearts.
Packt man das so ein bisschen auf zufällige Verbindungen, wenn die mal auftauchen sollten.
I only hope it didn't happen that way by design.
Will you comfort me? Thank you, my fairy.
Kannst du links schauen?
Alte Briefe.
Those letters look very old. The postmark suggests they were sent out from Louisiana.
Ja, und diese Riesenlibelle hat bestimmt auch gar nichts zu bedeuten.
And I suspect that dragon belongs to the Clarkson family.
Maybe. So what if it does?
A stalker has been harassing Patricia Clarkson for several years now. Did you know about this? Constant silent phone calls, unmarked letters. She also spotted a suspicious figure lurking near her mansion several times. And just last week, her employees spotted a strange figure lurking in the vicinity. The day someone else coincidentally used your alias and traveled to Louisiana.
That's very intriguing. Aligned symbolism.
Lise Clarkson also reported being harassed by a stalker just before she was murdered. You're aware of this, correct? Because I didn't find any mention of this in your report.
No direct connection to the case. That's what we must have thought.
The visionary lies to himself, the liar only to others. Which are you?
That's enough for now. This all has nothing to do with the case. Besides, there's no evidence that proves those letters are from her. Isn't that right, my fairy?
I knew it wouldn't go that easily. Maybe I should try asking my questions in a different way.
Ja, zum Beispiel nicht ein Arschloch sein.
I could use Agent Jones here.
Was von den drei war nochmal Elton Jones? Ah.
Agent Jones. Are you paying attention?
Selbst zu dem ist ein Arschloch.
Or do you intend to waste Mr. Morgan's precious time?
No. Sorry.
Sie hat auch den Dialekt, ne? Diesen Southern-Dialekt, den Southern Slang.
I'm just a little tired.
Ja, beobachten wir mal.
I'm listening.
Take your hand out of your pocket. Didn't they teach you any manners at Quantico?
Oh, right. Guess they slipped my mind. My bad.
Weil er auch ultra verdächtig ist.
I'm actually kind of nervous. I'm not used to this sort of thing. Data analysis is my specialty, you know. I'm sure I'd be able to calm down a bit if I had some pizza, though.
The FBI needs to do something about their lack of personnel. I'll have to ask the questions myself. But how should I start? Maybe I should look back over the files and calmly reassess the situation. After you arrested Galena Clarkson, you had a run-in with the Clarksons. At least that's what it says in the report. What exactly happened there?
Just a simple run-in, that's all. Nothing but a single phenomenon. Chasing hollow instances like that won't lead you closer to the truth. Truth doesn't work like that.
A hollow phenomenon, which resulted in a mountain of corpses.
Oh, Belle. We think we finally understand what you're trying to say. But don't be so voracious. How about another cup of coffee? We've still got a long way to go, you know. Yes. It's coarsely ground, so there should only be 4 teaspoons per cup. No more, no less. Next, the coffee travels from the funnel to the siphon. Simon, normally you only do surveillance in order to gather data, correct? Hiding microphones and cameras, sifting through garbage, wiretapping, shadowing, tracing credit card histories. You'll do whatever it takes to gather data in order to prevent crimes. That's how the FBI works.
Well, yeah, you're right. No reason in hiding it now, I guess. Why do you ask?
Our Southern Belle has adopted a very peculiar MO. It's almost like she has a special power, just like us. You've been watching us this entire time, haven't you, Belle? From that window.
I don't need to answer that question.
You came here on New Year's Eve, then spent 49 hours watching us until you returned to your hotel room last night. You observed us the entire time without sleep or rest, and you only ate once, some pizza delivered by Simon. Aside from that, you never drank any water or relieved yourself. You simply sat there and continued to watch us. You have visions, too, don't you? You came here solely to hear us talk. But then, why bother watching us for over 2 days? But you didn't come to talk with us. You came because you wanted to see this apartment with your own eyes. And because you're already convinced of something. Isn't that right? He who fights with monsters should see to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you.
But I...
Oh, coffee. Thank you, my fairy. If you hadn't been paying attention, this coffee would have all gone to waste. The pus in our brains. It really has a way of interfering with our lives. Didn't remember.
Oh. What the Christ? This is friggin' delicious. Kinda thought I was gonna shit myself for a second. Come on, Aaliyah, take a sip. Trust me. I'm not exaggerating here.
I don't believe it.
Wow. What a performance. I don't believe it.
It's better than any coffee I've ever tasted.
Of course it is. Coffee is a sacred drink. Coffee saved us. If not for its oracle, we would be on the other side right now. So I never forget to pay my respects to coffee. Especially at critical moments like this.
Big black cumulonimbus clouds are in the sky. And that sound. Thunder snow is coming.
Ich muss sagen, diesmal ist es deutlich interessanter als beim letzten Mal.
Mhm.
Do you hear that thunder? It's probably gonna snow soon.
We're in Massachusetts. That's the norm for this time of year.
Well, I'm not used to the cold. If possible, I'd like to finish this up before we get stuck in a snowstorm. Agent Jones, after we're done here, Agent Jones, is something the matter? Snap out of it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know.
Do you? Then stop daydreaming.
Okay.
You just what?
My stomach's been letting some thunder loose, too.
Thunder?
That coffee was just so good,
It what? We don't have all day here.
The coffee was just so good, it, summoned forth a massive tsunami from within me.
Excuse me? What is wrong with you? Now is really not the time for this.
Ganz jemand
At the
anders.
end of the hallway.
Thanks, pal. Hold on. You can make it. It's not very far.
We promise you, we did not put laxatives in the coffee. Coffee is a sacred drink, remember?
Motherfucker.
Drauf geschissen ist gut übersetzt.
There's no doubt that the report omitted information linking Morgan to the Clarksons. I need to get him to confess. Oh yeah. That reminds me. There's a secret weapon in Agent Jones's briefcase. Have you ever seen this before?
Chain of custody?
And please, don't say no.
Sang Rouge. The drug we once chased. What about it?
Sang Rouge is still circulating. It's changed shape and its composition is slightly different now. But it's still very much alive. But only in a very limited part of Louisiana. You aren't surprised? Did you somehow know this would happen?
Copies of another drug being circulated isn't exactly a rare case.
But Sang Rouge is special. The inimitable Enigma powder. The origin. It has many names, and no one was ever able to copy it. We've also been trying to figure out what it's made from ever since it appeared. But it's impossible to analyze. After all, it appears to be made from common ingredients that can be found anywhere. But if you try to use those ingredients, all you'll end up with is a mundane hallucinogen like DMT. No. Sang Rouge requires a special recipe. The original recipe, which someone's been guarding this entire time. Someone who survived the incident in Le Carré.
Es ist links, es ist.
Mr. Morgan, I heard that you were always a smoker. Did you ever wonder if that was the reason you contracted your illness?
What does that have to do with this case?
Nothing. I'm just personally curious about it.
Sometimes, people die in car accidents, regardless of how well they take care of their health. Other times, they slip on their bathroom floors and crack open their heads. Isn't that right, my fairy?
I'm not concerned with statistics. I'm just curious about you, right here, right now.
We switched over from nicotine to this. It's less addictive. That's one step in the right direction, isn't it?
Perhaps. If we're talking about withdrawal symptoms or physical dependencies. But it still seems like you're smoking too much at once. Honestly, it looks to me like you have a mental dependency.
Maybe. But so what if we do?
Surely you know about gateway drugs, yes? When a person starts to use one drug, it becomes much easier for them to branch out and try other drugs as well.
Was ich für unfassbaren Blödsinn halte. Totaler Stuss. Aber okay.
The first drug acts as the gateway that leads them to stronger substances.
Oh. Are you trying to say that's going to happen to us?
No. I'm simply saying there's a possibility.
Briefe. Kennst du eigentlich die Optimos?
Was kann ich?
Die Optimos. Da oben links.
Oh ja, klar, das ist meine Lieblingsband. Vor allem, das ist quasi der Sänger, der Gitarrist, der Schlagzeuger und der Bassist ist der links unten.
Ganz unten links, er ist auch Fan von den Emos.
Oh nein, nicht die Emos. Und 19. 19 war eine klasse Platte.
Ja, die waren super. Aber die haben nicht lange gemacht, also nur bis, wann war das? 2019.
Mhm.
Hm.
Und hinten dran ist Eminem hinter den OK-Timus.
Immediately after they found Lisa's body, I went to go see Patricia. In order to interrogate her, of course.
So you told us.
But I was unable to meet with her.
She refused to speak with you, didn't she? That's so like her.
No, she didn't get the chance to. You see, she's gone missing.
What?
To put it more accurately, no one's seen her since the afternoon of the 28th. According to her employees, she shut herself up in her room for several months before she disappeared. But since that sort of thing happened often, they didn't think anything of it. On the morning of New Year's Eve, they noticed her window was open, and when they went up to check on her, she was gone. But no one knows how long her window had been open for. This is just my hypothesis, but on December 28th, a strange man visited Le Carré and was spotted near her mansion. That man must have found some way to lure Patricia into his car, the '89 Cadillac that he bought used. Then, the two of them drove north to Trenton, where they boarded a train to Boston. They would have arrived here around midnight on the 29th, or perhaps early morning on the 30th. I believe this man is the same Billy Bishop whose name was previously recorded by the airline. So, what do you think of my guess? I'd love to hear your opinion as a former FBI special agent.
Now we get it. We aren't persons of interest. We're the suspects. But what about our alibi?
What alibi?
I've had enough of your bullshit. You expect me to believe you haven't taken a single step out of this room? That Agent Jones is your witness? Surveillance cameras can easily be tampered with, especially by someone like you, who knows all about how the FBI works.
You're possessed by death. Go and take a look at your own face in the mirror. You look like the Grim Reaper. After you visited both Le Carré and Greenvale, you left a mountain of corpses in your wake. You can make all the excuses you want. I'm immune to them. Right here, right now, I want to know everything. You tell me the truth.
Yes! You're good, Belle. Damn good. You're brimming with potential. Don't you think she's the perfect partner for our last dance? What do you say, my fairy? Don't you agree? She's good. So good. What do you want to know? We've got nothing to hide. Go on. Question us. This is how it's got to be. Doesn't this remind you of something? You know what I mean, my fairy.
Oh oh. Oh Gott, oh nein, ich befürchte da irgendwie sowas. Oh, andere Farbe beim Ladescreen.
Das hast du befürchtet? Ja, okay.
Ne, ich befürchte irgendwie, dass das so wird, dass man irgendwann sie spielt und er und Francis Zack Morgan ist der Endgegner oder so.
Hm. Könnte passieren.
Oh.
Son of a... How did this happen in my town? God damn it!
The head and limbs were severed and lined up, according to the lines that were drawn with her blood. Just like migratory birds flying systematically across the sky. Hey, Zach, what do you think this means?
They're severed roots.
Severed roots?
This is the way the Clarksons kill someone when they want to cut him off from the family.
And how do you know about this?
Everyone in town knows about it. They're just too scared to talk.
What does the V stand for, then?
Beats me. What, you think I know everything now?
Vilitatio. It means quarrel in Latin. That's what the V stands for.
Latin. Intriguing, isn't it, Zach? There are no defense wounds on the corpse. In other words, Galena showed no signs of resistance when she was amputated. But, strangely enough, there are small traces of subcutaneous bleeding around the wounded areas. That's a vital reaction, which means she couldn't have been dead.
You mean...
Yes, that's right, Patty. Galena was amputated while she was still alive, and she never resisted.
Is that even possible?
It certainly isn't impossible. For example, if she was put to sleep with a drug, or if she desired the amputation herself.
Why would she ever desire that?
Mr. York, I'm sorry, but there ain't no way that could have happened.
How can you be sure of that, Melvin? Our world contains phenomena that could never be explained with logic. This is especially true for phenomena in which humans are involved. Do you really think all the facets of love and hate can be explained with logic?
Well, no, I don't reckon I do. Yeah, might be too early to rule out those possibilities, just like you say.
Zach, now we truly know just how deeply the Clarksons are involved with this. Patty, how long does it take to reach the Clarkson estate?
Just a short drive. You just gotta head west along the Mississippi. You can't miss it.
Got it. Thank you, Patty. By the way, Melvin, no matter how accelerated Patty may be, don't you think she's still a bit too young to see something like this? For the record, I have no intent to instruct others on how to raise their children, but...
Holy moly, you're right! Patricia, CLG! Come on, sweetie. Kids shouldn't have to see stuff like this.
Daddy, it's too late now.
Na
Paar
gut.
Anmerkungen. Erstens, mich hat die Story wirklich gepackt. Hätte ich
Ja.
nicht gedacht. Aber ich habe richtig Bock, da mehr zu erfahren. Zweitens, ich weiß nicht, ob ich es jetzt durcheinander werfe, aber Patricia, der Name war doch eben auch gefallen, oder? In der
Die ist,
Gegenwart.
ja, ich dachte mir auch
Aber
gerade, die
als
ist
Clarkson,
verschwunden.
oder?
Patricia Clarkson, ja, richtig.
Und nicht Patricia Woods, wie sie hier heißt.
Mhm.
Da kommt doch viel. Aber dann kann man eigentlich schon ausschließen, dass diese Elia sie ist.
Ich weiß es nicht. Weil wenn Patricia Woods und Patricia Clarkson zwei verschiedene Personen sind, dann kann es schon wieder sein.
Würde mich aber wundern.
Keine Ahnung, ich weiß es nicht. Ich bin mal gespannt, aber sie wirkt schon irgendwie so, finde ich.
Ja, so ein bisschen, aber...
Weiß
Wir
nicht.
werden sehen.
Wir werden definitiv sehen. Naja, aber das würden wir am besten beim nächsten Mal machen. Das ist gerade so ein toller Abschluss hier.
Mhm.
Dann würde ich sagen, ja, wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal. Das hier wird noch sehr spannend, glaube ich. Und ich
Ja.
hoffe, jetzt geht es auch ein bisschen zügiger, dass nicht mehr so viel Leerlauf
Mhm.
dazwischen ist.
Das wäre schön.
Genau. Gut, dann.
Nächster Teil ist erstmal wieder eine Stunde durch die Stadt fahren und Eichhörnchen jagen.
Ja, genau.
Cool. Wir freuen uns drauf.
Alles klar. Na dann, bis zum nächsten Mal.
Adieu.
Tschüss.